Hello, I'm Richard Vobes, the Bald Explorer, the filmmaker, podcaster, and all of those, and you are my lovely patrons. Of course you are, you know that. Today I've had a senior management meeting with the team. Yes, very unusual. Now the team, I should explain, are the lovely Matthew Holdsworth, the lovely Julia, Marq English, and Richard Suggett. It's not really a pucker team or anything like that, but these are interested parties who've been helping behind the scenes to keep the Bald Explorer and the Vobes show going. And it was the lovely Julia who decided that, well, we should get everybody together and have a discussion about how we could go forward into the second year of the Bald Explorer stuff, make it more viable, increase our viewers and patrons, and perhaps improve the content and all of that. Richard Suggett is a YouTuber, and Marq English is also a YouTuber, so it was useful to get other people's points of views and thoughts on how it might, how all of us could help each other and improve things. And I've made a few notes from that, and I thought it was worth making a bit of a video to explain to you, because you are the patrons, you support me, you ensure that everything is, well, I was going to say that, well, you support me, don't you? I mean, you know, you help pay towards the petrol, towards the cost of various things. You help me buy the necessary equipment and all of that, which of course I'm incredibly thankful for. And in return, I do my best to make as much content and get it out on time and take you to some interesting places. And that seems to be working very well. At the moment we have, I can't remember the exact figures, but there's something like there's over 3,000 likes on the Bald Explorer Facebook page. We've got over 360 people in the group on the Facebook page, and we've got over 2,000 subscribers on YouTube. So that's, you know, quite good. That's quite good. When I started a year ago I had 500, so I've picked up 1,500 on YouTube, which is very nice. So we discussed all the usual sort of things about how to make some money to keep it going, such as how we make money from the patrons and the sort of levels that we make, which isn't a huge amount, but it's very nice. Every now and again different people make donations of different scales, which is fantastic, and that all helps to, as I said before, buy bits of equipment, some cameras, some microphones, pays for all sorts of bits and bobs, really, even the petrol going in the car or a sandwich when you're out and about. It all makes it all possible. We talked about advertising and Facebook advertising, and actually one of our patrons has sent in some money, which I have yet to spend, but it's there, £50, and I'm going to match that and put another £50 in. So we've got £100 to spend on Facebook advertising. We haven't done it yet because we're still trying to work out what is the best bit and also how to do it right and effectively, because I did try it once and it was very complicated. Merchandise, we talked about the merchandise, and that is, I know it's been an ongoing thing and nothing is fully formed and out, but you know, there's not that many people who are going to buy stuff in the great scheme of things, so I don't imagine making huge sums of money, but it's nice to have it. We also talked about flyers and being able to give people flyers and that sort of thing. We talked about the websites and the different ways that people can find the Bald Explorer stuff, and making it clearer and more obvious and more streamlined so people can get to see things, which is very important, from baldexplorer.com, because that's the sort of the number one, I suppose, but then there is the Vobes show and others. So that was good. Excuse my phone going off. We talked about the social media, using Twitter more and Instagram, which I did start using, but I didn't really find a great response from that, but maybe I can go back to doing that. We talked about the possibility of getting the local press involved and doing some interviews with me, and hopefully, sorry, blooming phone, doing that sort of thing and trying to get a little bit extra coverage, because marketing seems to be the thing that's most important. And then we tried to compare what I was doing with the Bald Explorer with other people who are making YouTube videos, and looking at their their sort of numbers and their stats and comparing the content with what they do. So there were a couple of sites that we looked at. There was one which is, a number of people know, that's All the Stations, which is a couple who went round and filmed all the stations, railway stations, and did various things. They had crowdfunding. I think they made some money out of that, and of course they had their niche, which was to visit all the stations. Very easy, very simple to understand what it was. And I think sometimes perhaps the Bald Explorer is not so easy to understand exactly what that is. There's this bloke who puts a GoPro camera on a hat or on his head, and he just goes down water chutes into swimming pools. And apparently he has many viewers. I mean, hundreds of thousands of viewers, and all he does is he just goes down there. Can't really understand how people gravitate and watch that time after time. And then we talked about an English family. I don't know where they're based. I think they're an Irish family living in London, and I think they've got 2 kids. It's a couple with 2 kids, and all it is their daily life. They might go to the supermarket, or they might go to Specsavers, or they might go down the park, or whatever it is, or they're moving into a house, I think Matthew said. But they get something like 250,000 views a day. They make a daily video and they're getting 250,000 views a day. And that pulled me right up when I heard about that. And you think, how is that possible? What is it? What is it that they're doing that gets that many people, and I get about 250 to 300 views in total on each video? And so there's something I'm not doing right. Okay, they've been going at it longer, and I understand that, but after a year, my subscribers are, I've only picked up 1,500, and I'm getting it still plateaus what I do. People aren't finding it, or they're not seeing it. So there's probably a lot of stuff one can do on the keywords and maybe the stuff that I'm doing is obscure. But I'm also thinking we need to up the ante in the show, perhaps do it slightly differently, make it more dynamic, make it more interesting, and possibly make it more soap-like. Now, that would be changing the format a bit, and I know a lot of people will be going, oh no, don't change the format. But really and truly, I would think that after a year, if I had 1,000 or 2,000 people watching the videos on a daily basis, that would have been great. But the growth rate is so slow that it's kind of more or less the same as it was a year ago, about 200 people. It's not growing enough. Yes, I'm slowly getting subscribers, but the daying views is not enough. So I've got to put my thinking cap on and think, well, somehow I've got to work out what it is that people like these others are doing that I'm not, and make mine interesting. So I'm working on that. My brain is already buzzing, as you can imagine. Anyway, this is just a quick video to bring you up to speed with the senior management meeting that we had up in Reigate earlier today. We had a bit of a walk and we had a bit of a laugh, and it was great fun, and it was interesting to get all the comments from everybody else. So thank you guys, really appreciate that. It's really very kind of you. It's very humbling that people are interested in helping create this this whatever it is that we're doing into something special. So there you go. Anyway, I will catch up with you on the next Naked Englishman, but that was just a quick special video for the patrons only, to bring you up to speed. Please don't share this. This is just for the patrons and I. That's much appreciated. Till I see you again, bye for now.